Dear children, now let us study about comparing fractions. Now over here I have two fractions. The first fraction is 2 by 3 and the other fraction is 1 by 5. Now children, if I have two fractions with me and I want to find out which fraction is greater and which fraction is smaller, I need to first look at the denominators of each of the fractions. Now in the first fraction, the denominator is 3. In the second fraction, the denominator is 5. That means these two fractions are unlike fractions. But to compare the fractions, we need to first convert them into like fractions. In the previous classes, I have already taught you how to convert the fraction into like fraction. So, first you need to find out the LCM of the denominators of both the fractions. So, you will find the LCM of 3 and the LCM of 5. LCM of 3 and 5 you will find. What is the LCM of 3 and 5? It is equal to 15. The LCM we have found out. Now we are going to change, or rather I would say we are going to convert these fractions into like fractions. So how do you do it? So now in place of this 3, you need to replace the LCM that you have got. So in place of this denominator, you need to write 15. So how will you do it? 3 5s are 15, right? So you multiply the numerator and denominator both by 5. So 2 5s is 10 and 5 3s is 15, alright? Similarly over here, in place of this 5, you need to replace the LCM that you have got. The LCM is 15. So in place of 5, you need to write 15. So how will you do it? 5 3s are 15, right? So we'll multiply the numerator and denominator both by 3. 3 1s are 3 and 5 3s is 15. So now you have got your two fractions, correct? What fractions have you got over here? You have got the fraction 10 by 15 and 3 by 15. Now you can easily compare. Look at the numerator. By looking at the numerator, you will compare 10 and 3. Which one is greater? Obviously 10. Now what was the value of this fraction? 10 by 15 was basically 2 by 3. So you can say 2 by 3 is greater than. What was the real value of 3 by 15? It is 1 by 5. So we have got the answer. So 2 by 3 is greater than 1 by 5. Now we have another question over here. Again we have to find out which fraction is greater. The first fraction is 3 by 7 and the other fraction is 4 by 5. Now if you look carefully, look at the two fractions. Are these two fractions like fractions? That means, do they have the same denominator? No, they don't have the same denominator. In the first fraction, the denominator is 7. In the second fraction, the denominator is 5. That means we have different denominators. So, in order to compare, we need to first convert them into like fractions. So, how will we do it? By finding the LCM of the denominator. Denominator we have over here as 7 and 5. So, you will find the LCM of 7 and 5. 7 and 5. LCM of 7 and 5. What is the LCM of 7 and 5? It is 35, right? So now write the fractions as it is. Now in place of this 7, you need to write what? 35, correct? If you want to convert this fraction into like fraction, you need to get the LCM in the denominator. So how will you do it? 7 5s are 35, so you'll multiply the denominator and the numerator as well with 5. So 3 5s are 15. 7 5s is 35. So similarly for the next fraction also you will do the same thing. 4 by 5. So in place of this 5, you need to get 35. So how will you do it? 5 7s are 35, so you multiply both the denominator as well as the numerator by 7. So 4 sevens are is 28 and 7 fives are is 35. So now if you look carefully, which one is greater? 15 by 35 and you have 28 by 35. Which one is greater? Obviously 28 by 35 is greater. Now what were the original fractions? 15 by 35 was basically this, the first one, 3 by 7. So you can write 3 by 7, and 28 by 35 was which fraction? 4 by 5. So now you write 4 by 5 over here, and this one is greater, so you put the greater sign like this. Okay.